I'm Ryan,
I'm Julie.
and this is the Stories We Leave You.
All right, welcome back. On this episode, we are doing part 2 of Ryan's coming out story. Yippee. So last time we just kind of went through the journey, like Ryan's thoughts and feelings. So this time I wanted to get into just a little bit of like actually coming out to people, like some people's reactions and things like that. And we're going to talk about my reaction. Oh, we said last time we get divorced on air.
What?
Oh, you forgot about that part?
Yeah.
Just joking. We won't get divorced, I promise. Anyway, let's go back in time. Get the twinkles again. Back to coming out the first time. I guess which people were the hardest to come out to, or like who had the biggest reactions?
I mean, like I said before, everyone kind of already knew.
And just a recap, the first time was when you came out as a lesbian.
Yeah. This
So-
was, oh gosh. I mean, it was in college. I want to say when I was like 22, but that was super difficult just because I just kept thinking, and I say you because I know a lot of people who come out like have these feelings, but it's like, what if I'm wrong? What if I'm not? And, after coming out to a few people, I had this really good discussion with two of my friends at the time, and they're like, so what? Like, who cares? You don't have to be set in stone. And again, it's that I need to be in a box. So it's like, you're either gay or you're not.
Yeah.
And back then, it wasn't, I say back then, but it really was back then.
Back in the 1900s. No, it wasn't the 1900s.
No. Early 2000s.
Yeah, early 2000s.
Non-binary wasn't really a thing yet that was talked about. And it was either you were straight or gay. That was pretty much it. So I remember one instance in particular in college. It was just me and one of my friends, and I wanted to tell someone so bad, but she could tell that I wasn't ready. I was like getting to that point where you're talking about something that makes you so nervous that like I started physically shaking a little bit. And she just like, she knew later on, she was like, I knew what you wanted to tell me, but I was not going to pressure you into doing it. And you clearly were not ready. Looking back, it's like I just wasn't quite there. And I don't know if it's because it wasn't the right time, wasn't the right person. I was just like, that's too scary because once you say it, you can't take it back.
Yeah.
So
it's always like, what's going to change?
I was more afraid of losing people in my life then than I was the second time around.
Yeah.
Just because, I mean, obviously, yeah, I was worried about losing you, but I also know you better than anybody else. But it was like this, in my brain, I was like, it's going to change everything. And when I finally came out the first time, it was actually to a high school friend, and she was visiting. And it was more of like, it wasn't just, hey, I need to tell you something, I'm gay. I wanted to beat around the bush and ask questions and find out how they felt about gay people. And there was a conversation about somebody, and I was like, oh, are they like gay or bisexual or whatever? And
it reminds me of those videos with the moms that are like, oh, I'm like scouting out other mom friends at the school, and I'm like, yeah, so about ice. And then she like stares at them to see what their reactions are.
I mean, that's kind of how it is, because it wasn't like an open discussion. I didn't know a lot of gay people at all. And I certainly didn't have any gay people that my friends and I knew collectively. And realistically, it was the closest people to me were the most difficult. The people you're supposed to know the best, to trust and things like that.
Okay. So what about telling your parents?
My parents claimed to be clueless, which was shocking. So I'm like, really? It was difficult just because it's like, all right, how are you going to view me going forward? My mom asked me once when I was like 14, are you gay? And I mean, yeah, but I'm not going to tell you that right now. Like, you just caught me off guard.
What was her reason for asking?
I have no idea. We were talking about something. Like, I spent a lot of time laying on my mom's bed, like just talking while she came home from work, got, changed, kind of similar to what you did with your mom. I would just follow her around and we would talk. And I'm sure we were talking about something. And it was like, well, you're not gay, are you? I'm like, no. Like, ugh. Gross. No. And, she brought that up when I came out to her. She was like, I asked you once. And I was like, yeah, okay. Like, I'm ready to tell you right now. Like, I was still figuring it out. And I was 14. Like, what the fuck? So, yeah, I cried, but I think it was more like just overwhelming emotion of like, I just like, this is my last hurdle. Like, let's get this out. Let's go. And then my dad came up and we were laying in my parents' bed, and he came upstairs and got all weird and was like, what are you guys talking about? My mom was like, well, your daughter has something she'd like to say or tell you. And I was like, yeah, I like girls and gay and whatever. And he got awkward and left.
Oh, yeah, that sounds like your dad.
Yeah. But apparently, like later on, I found out he thought that he failed somehow as a father, which is like shocking to me because I'm like, well, I don't understand how that turns into a failure. Like it's has a negative ring to it. Like, oh, you're gay. I did something wrong. Like, what? And I I don't know if I explained to my mom to explain to him or I told him, but I just remember saying, like, that's so the opposite of how he should be looking at it. If anything, I want to be a dad just like him.
Yeah.
Or marry, at that time, like be that joke's on me, father figure.
Yeah.
But I'm like, no, like I want to treat my girlfriend or wife someday like how he treats my mom. And, he wasn't seeing it from that perspective. So I was like, no, if anything, it makes me want to be a better person / guy. And still, it's like he's got the patience of a saint. I'm like, oh man, like I don't think that's in the playbook for me, but it's no less true now than it was then. But once I got that out, it was like, all right, it got easier. But again, it's just like every time you have to mention, your girlfriend or who you're dating or who you're married to, like we joke around when the kids were born. It's like, oh, they would say, I have 2 moms. It's like, you just outed me. Like, and it's not, it still makes me uneasy.
Yeah.
And which is weird because now it's like the reverse. Like, I don't have to come out as trans to people.
I mean, you kind of do. It's not the same.
No, it's more like, oh shit, you just figured something out about my past that now it's like, because, at this point in my life, I know people who have no idea.
Yeah.
And it's like, ooh.
It's more like, how do I tell this story?
Right. You have to navigate. I've had to say about like watching Luna and Checkers. I'm like, oh yeah, I dog sit for a friend in college. I can't say roommate.
Yeah.
Because I can't say like, oh yeah, I'm roomed with her. She was my suite mate my freshman year of college. Like that, no.
All right. Well, you want to fast forward to coming out number 2.
Number 2. Yeah, I mean, that, like I said in the last episode, it was a longer transitional period of figuring things out, wondering, how I'm going to navigate this because we already had kids. And, I was worried about how you really felt about it, even though it's like, oh, I'm pretty confident you're fine with it. But I also had to be open to the possibility that you wouldn't be, or that it wouldn't be the right fit for what you had envisioned for your life. And I was like, I can't force you to stay in a marriage to someone who's trans, but hopefully it won't affect anything. And like I said, like I was grateful for you letting me navigate at my own pace, pushing me when I needed to be pushed, like with pronouns and like just, I feel like you were like, okay, you're never gonna make that leap if I literally don't push you off the proverbial cliff. And it's like, just try it. And, it was like, oh, I like that. I don't like that. I don't know. Like my brain was all over the place and I was just like not existing as me. I was like, all right, what box can I fit in? So telling people was easier. just because it was like the first step was the top surgery, and that was just easier because like anyone who knew me like knew I hated my boobs. So
Yeah.
it was just like, okay, I'm getting them off. Like,
Yeah.
bye. See you
And they
later.
were very large. Like, we're talking, what was it, like double I?
Something, I don't know,
Yeah.
10 pounds worth. What was a little shocking is afterwards, because I didn't feel, aside from you and the kids and, your mom, because she lived here, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She lived here.
Yep.
I didn't have the support that I thought I was going to have from the people who mattered most after you guys.
Yeah.
So that was super disappointing and a little shocking.
Yeah.
And I still feel some kind of way about it because it's just like the longer it goes, like I'm over it 90%, but also I'm like, that fucking sucked.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that, yeah, my parents didn't come over and see me when I got back in town, or my best friend at the time didn't come over and see me, was hurtful and weird. And I don't know. But then again, being in my late 30s at the time, I was like, okay, well, I don't have time for this shit. Like, I have
Yeah.
to focus on healing. I have you, I have the kids. Obviously, things are going to change, things are going to be different. And at this point, I wasn't going to be taking testosterone. So I was like, all right, then this is what I want. Everything's going to stay the same. I'll figure out the rest later, whatever. This is first step. So, I mean, like, my brother and his family have been really cool. I just like shot them a text. I was like, hey, okay, so I know like I said I wasn't going to be transitioning with testosterone or whatever. I was like, but I am. And right now, I'm not even worried about pronouns like that. It's funny because like I feel like a lot of people like start with that.
Mm-hmm.
And I like ended with it and let it kind of happen naturally, I guess. Because I mean, I wasn't 100% ready. So I
Yeah.
think that's why I was so patient with other people, because I was like, I don't fucking know either. Even now, if someone like misgenders me or I don't know, it's just like, it's not a big deal.
Yeah. Well, I think, yes, you have to push people to make changes, but there's also, we are naturally resistant to change. We have comfort and things staying the way that they were. So I feel like there has to be a certain amount of grace as people are changing, as they're learning, and it is a learning process. Like, honestly, looking back, there are things I wish I would have done differently. Like, I feel like there are better ways that I could have supported you.
Like, what?
Well,
That's crazy.
I th I think just because not being in it, and also, I mean, I was pregnant and then newborn, it was a very busy time, but I think not being in it, I didn't realize necessarily how big of a deal it was.
In it, in what way?
Like,
Like,
in your head, I wasn't in your shoes,
yeah.
so it's hard to understand how big of a, obviously, it's a big change, but what a big deal it is to finally, like, "Oh, I feel like myself. Oh,
Hmm.
I finally feel like my true self." And, like, I've looked stuff up online, and, like, some people have, like, I don't know, basically, like, some kind of, like, coming out type party
Hmm.
where I forget what they call them, but
Coming out parties.
oh, okay. But I'm like, "Oh, man, we should have done something like that where we could celebrate the birth of Ryan, he, him."
I mean, yeah, I mean, that never crossed my mind.
Yeah. I just wish I would've realized at the time how big of a deal it was and been more, like, celebratory with you.
Yeah, but I'd say you did it exactly how you're not that person though. You're not like, "Woo, something amazing just happened, let's throw a party."
That's true.
So I wasn't like expecting anything like that.
But it
And
wasn't about me.
but we were also like the timing of it really sucked balls because you were pregnant.
Yeah.
And I like when you're pregnant because I like taking care of you. And all of a sudden it was like, I'm consumed with this over here. This is what was it? Was it Finn?
No, it's fine.
Vi?
Mhm.
So it was like, all right, this is the third pregnancy, fourth kid. Like, you got this. We know what's going on. It wasn't that I wasn't as like, oh my gosh, let me do all this stuff for you, and like you're a strong, independent woman. It's like that fine line of, oh, I'm pregnant, I can do things for myself, but also like I sometimes wonder, I'm like, did I show up enough for you in that pregnancy? But it's like, maybe that was the perfect time. Like you could handle yourself. I was going through my shit. I don't know. I don't remember a lot.
Well, whenever someone asks me how it was for me when you came out and how I felt about it,
Yeah, what went through your
my
head?
honest response is, and it's gonna sound a little selfish, but I was like, "You know what? I was pregnant." And it wasn't just I was pregnant, it was the last kid. I really wanted to have a natural birth.
Mhm,
I had not had one yet, non-medicated, I should say,
mhm,
and I had gestational diabetes. I had 5,000 freaking appointments because they had to do ultrasounds and check my blood pressure and blood sugars and all this stuff all the time. And I was so, like, deep in, like, "Okay, I have to eat this certain way." I was doing all these exercises to try to make sure I was prepped for birth, and my head was 100% on pregnancy, and it's really like you and I were living 2 separate lives,
mhm.
living the same life, but, like,
Our
separately in our
brains
heads.
our brains were
Yes.
in different
You
books.
were completely all about figuring out your transness and your transness and all of that, and, like, your head was there, which I totally don't blame you. Like, there's no control over when it was gonna happen. It
Mhm,
happened when it happened. But then I'm over here, like, 100% focused on pregnancy. So I'm usually like, well, selfishly, I kinda wish he would have been doing his job taking care of me on the last pregnancy
mhm.
that we're ever gonna have. But, I mean, it is what it is.
Which, just for the record, it's not like I was just over here willy-nilly not doing anything.
You did nothing.
No, I remember the all the exercises and
Yeah. No,
all
I
the
could
things,
just
like, mentally,
yes.
I wasn't 1,000% invested in,
Yeah.
like, checking in as much, and, like, yeah, we
I feel like
were
it's like you needed me to be more in it with you, and I needed you to be more in it with me,
yeah.
but we just couldn't at the time. We were both just focused on different things and
I mean, that's a testament to our marriage, though, because
mhm,
that's happened more than once.
yeah. I'd say that was the biggest divide.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like we were rowing boats side by side
Yeah.
together, and, like, occasionally be like, "You okay over there? Yeah, I'm okay. You okay over there? Yeah." And maybe that's why you felt like you weren't as, as celebratory or
Yeah.
whatever, but I think it happened the way it happened, and,
Yeah. It was just we both had a lot
you
on
know
our minds,
yeah.
and we when all of your energy and focus is on that, but then you also already have 3 kids. So, I mean, that's kind of just parenting anyway. Like, a lot of
Mhm.
times you end up just kinda living life side by side and not 100% on the same page. I think that's common, and yeah, it just happened to be, like, bigger things happening at that moment.
Yeah. Wait, I wanna go back
Oh,
to
okay.
you, though, real quick. When people ask you, like, "Oh, how did you feel?" Like, yes, you were pregnant, but how did you feel, or what were your initial thoughts of, "Okay, so I went from this small town, married my high school sweetheart, to realizing that I'm in love with a woman, ending up marrying that woman,
Said woman.
said woman, and then all of a sudden you are going to be living a life married to a trans man." Because I think you made your transition to accepting that fairly quickly and smoothly, and, like, you started calling me your husband, like, way before I realized that I even wanted to use that term. Because I was like, "I don't know, I feel like I'm lying, like, if I say I'm your husband, because I don't." Imposter syndrome is, like,
Mhm.
definitely a thing. But, like, did you honestly, like, ever have any thoughts of, like, "Do I wanna stay married to me, or is this gonna," I don't know.
So pretty much for me, from the very beginning, and I did think about it. I took the time to like, okay, this is going to be different. How do I really feel about it? And at the end of it, I'm like, Ryan is still Ryan. Like, you're still the same person I chose to marry in the first place. None of that changed.
Yeah.
So, okay, you're doing testosterone and you got hairier. Little
I think
Balder.
I think we can both attest to on that front.
And yes, I had to change my words, but I mean, like he, him,
Mhm,
husband, that kind of thing. But no, like it was just never really a question. It was like, why wouldn't I? I will be completely honest that I think it's that being a little scared of what you don't know and the way that when it came to like intimacy,
mhm.
our first 1 or 2 times, maybe the only 1 or 2 times. Take that part out. Uh, our first 1 or 2 times, it was
I'll say the only 1 or 2 times.
shut up. It was just kind of like it was a little scary in that aspect just because you're over there like, "I'm having these changes and things are a little bit different down there," and I'm like, "What's gonna be in there when I, like
What's gonna be in there?
when we do this?" And, like so that part was a little scary just because it's like, "Oh, is it gonna be the same as it was before?" Not like just
Think there was a dragon down there?
I don't mean, like, just physically, anatomy-wise. I mean, like, are you gonna like the same things? Am I gonna do my old same tricks? Are those still gonna be, working out? Or
By the way, anyone who's curious, no, I did not have any type of bottom surgery that's not in the books for me, 1,000%.
now is this gonna be, like, the testosterone thing,
No.
and you're gonna change your mind?
No, from the beginning, I have said, "She can stay. She is the only part of my body that I am comfortable with. She's put away, she's concealed."
Makes it sound like she's zipped up,
Yeah,
glued up.
yeah, which I mean, she's put away, but yeah, no, it's to me, that is not even in question, but it's different
Yeah,
for every guy. Like, that does not I don't need a bulge or a penis to feel like myself.
yeah,
I am comfortable with what I have.
yeah. Well, and I think yeah, I mean, I think that was the biggest thing for me was just a little bit of fear of the unknown.
Mhm.
I mean, even, like, with you getting top surgery, it was a little bit like, "Oh, well, what's this gonna be like?" Because I was so used to you having
You
these
were.
ginormous things.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was just more the fear of the unknown more than anything,
Mhm.
but it's been fine.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah, that was never a question, so
Well, that's good.
I still love you as I always did.
Ditto.
Maybe I should say, I still love you as I always have. Did makes it sound like a past. I loved you as a woman. I love you as a man. And I guess, I mean, kind of lucky for you because I've never considered myself like a 1000% lesbian.
I know. If you were like diehard Kinsey 6 lesbian,
It might have
might
been
have changed things.
different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe it's, I don't know. Shit happens for a reason,
Yeah.
I guess.
So, how was it? Let's get into the kids. How was it telling the kids?
Easy. Just because they see things in their purest form. And it was, again, they were super patient. I did not want to put any strain on them with the pronouns and all that stuff, which is why I'm glad that I wasn't ready to fully accept that. Again, I was like the last person to it still feels weird talking to myself about myself in the third person and saying like he, cuz like even for me talking about my past
Mm-hmm.
for a story's sake, I have to use she, but then it's like that's the old Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
Like this
And
is
I do the exact same thing. When I
yeah.
think back to a story and I'm like, "She," and then I'm like, "Wait, can I still say she or should I be saying he?" Because at the time it was she, but now
Well,
it's
and
like my brain gets
I've
confused.
I've kind of learned we're getting sidetracked, but basically like back then
Mhm.
she or I was, whatever. But anyways, yeah, the kids were like amazing. I wish adults could be like them just
Yeah.
because they saw me as Mommy Ryan. Luckily, you ordered those books,
Mhm.
and I think that was a really great way to navigate, especially with Liv and Gray, because they both had their own feelings about it. Like
Mhm.
Liv was the most resistant
Yeah.
and I was in no way, shape, or form going to pressure her to move any quicker than she was comfortable. Because, I mean, we're a family. I'm not
Yeah.
going anywhere.
I feel like Grayson had always struggled a little bit with
Having two moms.
having to say, like, I have
Yep.
2 moms, and so for him, he was like, "Oh, okay, this puts me in, like, a normal box because now
Yes.
I have a mom and a dad."
Sweet. I have a
Yeah.
dad.
So I feel like he kind of jumped on that train pretty quickly.
He jumped on the train. I think Finn was the first to call me
I
dad.
mean, he was 2, 2.5
Yeah, I don't
during
even
all of
know
this.
if I mean, I've asked him. I don't he, he says he remembers his birth basically, but
He thinks he remembers everything because he knows it all.
he is not shocked when he sees, pictures
Yeah.
of me with long hair and like feminine. But I remember I had the most concerned about Liv just accepting it because she was like, I was like, do you think you'll ever call me dad or like whatever? She's like, I don't know. And, she's just reluctant to change, but she's really
Mhm.
quiet about it. So navigating through those, with those books and, they were kids' books. It's what was the one called?
I don't remember. I'll
He's
have
My
to
Mom. That's what
Yeah, I'll have to look, but I'll link them in the show notes.
yeah. One of them was He's My Mom. And I was like, at that time, it worked because I was like, "Oh, yeah, they can still call me Mommy Ryan." My, niece and nephews could still call me Auntie Ryan and whatever. I was like, I'm not gonna pressure anyone to change. And then, things started evolving to the point where I didn't want to be misgendered by that.
Mhm.
And that's, again, everyone needs to have some compassion and patience with themselves because I was not ready to use different pronouns.
Yeah.
You were trying them out. And again, even now, it's still weird hearing that. But once the kids hopped on board, and I don't even remember, like one day Liv was just fine with it.
Mhm.
I think once I started, my voice dropped, I started looking more masculine and masculine presenting. She thought it was weird to call me mom when I clearly look like a dad.
Mhm.
And I was like, okay. And, I kind of let them just
Well, and
navigate that journey. And I just kind of hopped on
she got to the point where she stood up for you. I don't remember what happened,
with
but
pronouns.
yeah, your mom or dad or
Hmm.
somebody used the wrong pronoun, and she jumped in and corrected, and we're like,
And
"Mm."
that was probably, I've honestly kind of forgotten about that, but those moments are probably the most impactful and like the most special
Mhm.
because no offense, you can correct people all day long, me personally, you in my presence, but like when your kids stand up for you when you're supposed to be standing up for them, it's
Mhm.
like holy shit, like you really like get stuff and you really have your own opinions and you're on my team.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool because it's like, all right, they have my back. Because I mean, kept them alive for a decade. They should, but it was really cool because I did not want to have not necessarily like an influence over them. I wanted them to form their own opinions about it.
Mhm.
But yeah, and then it's going to be interesting when Violet finds out because it's like I have these chapters and it's like Living Gray started out with two moms, transitioned when they fully were well aware of what was happening. Finn, he's borderline. Do you really remember? Not really. He pretty much grew up with dad. He didn't know Mommy Ryan. Violet only knows dad.
I think that it will be similar for her as it is for Finn, and that she's only known you as dad.
Hmm.
Finley, I mean, let's be honest, for the most part, has really only known you as dad.
Yeah.
He looks at pictures and is like, "Oh, that's when dad was in a girl's body," or like, whatever. I forget how he says it, but I think it's gonna be the same for her. I think at some point we'll talk about it and she'll look at pictures and be like, "Oh, that's when dad was in a girl's body," and
I think he says that's before I realized that I was a boy in a girl's body and before I got my boobs cut off.
yeah,
Well, I
usually
mean,
mention that.
you're not wrong, but he gets the concept of like that some people are born and they don't feel like they belong in that body and he knows that that came later for me than a lot of other people and
Yeah.
again, it's just matter of fact.
And I think she'll be the same way. Yeah. Anything else you wanna say?
Anything else you want to say?
No. I mean, we said we were gonna get deep on how I felt, but there wasn't a lot to go into, I realized. We're
No.
still married, we're not getting divorced.
No. I guess my takeaway in conclusion, just not being afraid to explore and communicate with your family and your partner or husband or wife or whatever. And like, seriously, that was like the messiest. I don't even know like how to put this into words. My brain would not formulate words and sentences that made sense to me, let alone you. But yet it was like, I remember you were just like, I don't like know what else you want me to say at this point because you're so back and forth. I'm just like letting you do you, boo boo.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it comes out as like verbal diarrhea and you're just questioning, I don't know, the most craziest thing about your life or whatever. It's like, just either write it down or just blurt it out or whatever and be like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see you tomorrow.
Well, I feel like you can't compare your journey to other people's journeys,
No.
as they say in pretty much every aspect of life.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you have to have grace with yourself.
Yeah.
You have to have grace with others. And in the end, the people who really love you and care about you are going to be there.
Yeah.
And even if they have the challenges of getting your pronouns right or whatever, or understanding how to properly support you, they're still there. They're still showing up. And those are the people that matter.
Yeah. And I've been pleasantly surprised by the random support that I will get from people, whether it was right after my surgery or something I put on Instagram about, finally getting on testosterone and a milestone of whatever. It's like people that you may not have even talked to in a long, long time will just like randomly send you a text or, well, I was going to say like Lori, when I went to dog sit for her last year, she left me a Father's Day card, which is like such a tiny, tiny thing that most people would like take for granted. But I'm like, holy shit, like she sees me
Mm-hmm.
and yet we don't hang out. We don't talk on a regular basis. Like I watch her dogs and stay at her house when they're gone. But like that support, it's like, all right, you do have people who support you. They don't have to be your like very best friends, but it's also disappointing on the other end of that spectrum when you lose a best friend or someone close to you because they don't know how to navigate whatever it is they feel they have to navigate.
Struggling with their own, whether it be homophobic, transphobic, whatever ideals they've grown up with that they may not have even realized they had until it happens.
You try and say to yourself, has nothing to do with you, but in this case, it did.
It really didn't have to do with you.
No, but I was the vessel for whatever internal thing
You're
was
just
happening.
What brought it to the surface.
Exactly. It's kind of like, I don't know.
Made it come to the surface and made that person challenge their own beliefs. Yeah. And unfortunately, the beliefs won.
Well, whatever it was, won, which it is what it is.
Like I said, the ones who are here, the ones who love you and support you, no matter what, are the important ones.
Yeah. But losing the ones who leave.
No. I mean,
that took a long time to get over.
It's a grieving process.
Yeah. But also, I mean, my parents have had a very difficult time adjusting, and I think it has put there's definitely space between us in terms of, oh, you used to be like this, you used to be like that, you used to be so, I don't know, I don't know the last time you've given me a hug and whatever, like, I don't know, a lot of times it's how I used to be. I'm like, well, I mean, that's part of growing up too, but also I feel different because maybe I was just pretending then and overcompensating for something, and this is my true self, and take it for what it's worth, and but also I don't think they fully understand all the elements.
All right, that wraps us up. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you for sharing
your 2-part story.
Enough about me already. Jesus.
I know, sorry you had to talk so much. I feel like I was quiet a lot.
Yeah, next episode, it's all about Julie. All about Julie.
Okay, well, we haven't decided that yet. We'll see. Anyway, if you're enjoying the show, please go and follow and give us a rating, a 5-star rating preferably, and share it with friends. Find us on Instagram at The Stories We Leave You, and let us know if you have any questions, any ideas for episodes, any stories you want to hear. Yeah. Otherwise, we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.